Okay, hello. All right, the mic is hot. Let's go. All right, hi everybody. Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out at HashiTalk 2024. I'm super excited to be here. This is my first time presenting at a conference of any kind, so let's start there. But thanks for taking time out of your day to be here. And yes, I am excited. I hope you're excited to learn about Code Theft Auto. And this is a story of my journey of how I use AI to gamify my learning journey for Terraform. So if you are someone who is new to Terraform, this talk is for you. If you know someone who wants to learn Terraform, share this talk. This talk is also for you. If you could care less about Terraform, this talk is still for you because I like to think of myself as an edutainer, and as well, you will get a little behind the scenes look at how I use AI to gamify my learning journey. So you'll still get something from this talk. Like you may want to learn how to make the best roux for a gumbo in the world, and you can use what I share here to try to gamify that experience and do that using AI. So this talk is for everybody. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And also, before we get started, if you want to send questions in the chat, that's cool. I'll try to answer as I present if I can. If not, I'll let you guys know. Reach out as I can after, but I'll also have my social links up and stuff like that towards the end. Okay, so I'm Shala. You may know me from social media as Gifted Lane. One of the ways people got introduced to me, as this video shows here, is I ended up starting my tech career as a lead network engineer with no previous IT experience. Yes, I said lead. And I get into depth about that with this video here. But yeah, so I didn't even know what an IP address was yet. I had never logged into a server. So I was literally just tossed into the deep end with that job. And my tech journey so far has been one series of baptism by fire after another. And I am a walking advertisement of the Nike slogan, just do it. Like I literally just see something I want and I jump in and I go for it. Matter of fact, I've built this house that I'm living in from a sketch I drew on a napkin and I DIY'd it. I definitely had a ton of help from my family, first and foremost. But yeah, it was a DIY thing because I was being cheap and I did not want to pay what custom home builders were charging. So I researched, talked to builders to the point where, yeah, we were just able to DIY this thing myself. Some kind of way, my parents managed to raise me in a way that I don't fear failure. And so I just kind of go for things.
Well, what's the lesson to learn there? Is it like you just have to grab stuff, the bull by the horns type thing? Would you do that again? I suppose is a kind of a question.
Oh man, I asked myself that and I would have to say yes. Cause let's say if someone comes to me with some like kind of cloud position, I feel like I'm underqualified for it, but they're like, we see something in you and we're gonna give it to you anyway. I'm going for it. I'll figure it out. And so that's exactly what I did. I reached out to a really good buddy of mine who is my career coach. And I was just like, yo, I want to start working in cloud. I'm getting bored with network engineering. I know that sounds terrible, but that's what happened. And I was just like, I'm at cloud level 0, but I want to work in cloud. And so I did manage to land a cloud networking position. So I didn't abandon networking, it just evolved into the cloud, which was really nice. I got to use all my networking experience for that. Now, the issue with that is jumping into a cloud role, another baptism by fire. I found, and also for Leo, I'm jumping to the subject right now, so get excited. All right, so what happened is when I got one of my work projects at work, I needed to stand up Terraform for the client. And I had taken a number of different Terraform courses. And, I felt like I knew Terraform. So I was just like, yeah, okay, let me stand up Terraform for this project. And when I went to go do that, I realized that I was staring at the screen blankly and I didn't know where to start. And so the issue was I realized there is a knowledge gap between me taking the courses and learning about Terraform and then actually hands on keyboard doing the Terraform things. So what I needed to do quickly for my job, because I mean that's my livelihood, and when I tie my name to something, I want to be amazing at it, and I want to be as quick as possible executing things. So I was like, all right, I need to close the gap between me taking Terraform courses and then at work being able to actually do the Terraform things. And I want to figure out how to close that knowledge gap my own way. I am a gamer and I'm someone where I can't just sit there and read like tech books and stuff like that. Like I need something to keep me engaged and make it fun. So I turned to AI and created Code Theft Auto. So I don't know if anyone out there in the audience was there. If you can like put one on the board if you like. You can enter one into the chat where, if you've experienced this before, where, you go, you take a course, you feel comfortable, you think you've learned the thing, and then when you go to actually implement it, you're just kind of like, wait, where do I start? So I did take a Terraform boot camp, which I thought was nice. And what I liked about it was how, it was very close to like real world solutions, like working in the real world with Terraform. And the thing about it, it still kind of gave you a little bit of guidance. And so I was like, I want to take this a step further and make it that much harder for me. And so that's when I started creating Code Theft Auto. And the way that I built this, and I'll do a walkthrough to show more about it, is how what I decided to do was basically create a bulleted checklist of different Terraform things to do with no additional prompts or guidance. It's just, can you get through the checklist the best way you can get through it? Because that's how real world works when I'm working on my job as a DevOps engineer. Okay, so moving forward, the cool thing about Code Theft Auto, as I started learning more about Terraform and implementing different stuff at work, I ended up creating a series of different repos for Code Theft Auto. And they go from level 1 all the way to level 4. Level 1 being the Terraform Basics 101. So you start getting comfortable with using Terraform, understanding the HCL language and stuff like that. Maybe you just finished taking a course. Maybe you've never touched Terraform before. Level 1 is for you. Level 2, this was for me because I still needed to best wrap my head around what a Terraform module is. So I created a workshop, which is actually based off of Mike Tyson's Mysteries. It's the show that I like. So it walks through understanding what a Terraform module is and breaking that down and making that simple. Level 3, this one focuses on the task at hand that I actually needed to do for work, which was build an entire new environment. And I needed to be able to do that quickly because currently we were using CloudFormation. And so basically I had to take what we had in CloudFormation and put it into Terraform. And so that's level 3. It's definitely more advanced. That's when you're standing up AWS VPCs and subnets and different stuff like that. ECS, RDS, all of that. Okay, so level 4, when we get to level 4, that workshop I'm looking forward for this is where the way I kind of built this. Level 1 is your crawl. Level 2 is your walk. Level 3 is your run. And then 4, that's when we're flying. Like we're super comfortable with Terraform and we're about to just have fun. So at level 4, this is where I start merging HashiCorp tools together. So it'll use Vault, it'll use Console, it'll use Terraform to actually make CloudWatch logs better, because that is something I see in the chat, because that is something that I'm forever trying to be better about with my devs, is making our CloudWatch logs make sense and be able to quickly, pinpoint when something's happening. I'm forever trying to improve that. So that's what level 4 is going to be about. Okay, let's see. All right, so now it's time for a walkthrough. What I want to do is walk through level 1. And this is, like I said, the Terraform 101 Basics workshop. And you'll have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. So it's something you can technically complete within 4 days. Day 1, you're going to set up the environment. 2, that's when we start, creating our Terraform configuration. Day 3, this is when we actually apply the configuration and we start building resources in AWS. And then day 4, this is where you reflect, because I always feel like it's important to reflect on what you've learned. So let's go ahead and take a little deeper look at it. I'm going to give you all a taste, just a taste. Okay, so for day 1, when you first get started, our first things are things like install Terraform, set up your AWS credentials so that you're actually talking to your AWS account, and then set up your code editor. It's what I like to think is basic, but sometimes it may not be that basic, especially if you have not worked with Terraform before, or if you're not comfortable with coding and things like that. And see here, this is literally what you get. It's just a checklist. There's no helpful prompts or anything. You're just kind of tossed into the deep end. And that's how it is for work. So that's what I wanted to create for myself. Let's see, day 2, it gets a little bit harder, just a little bit, not very much. Now we're going to start actually creating our Terraform code, or our configuration, so that we can set up AWS VPC, the subnets, and some security groups. And then we want to start understanding the different resources that we're going to use in the infrastructure. Hey, I see you, Exam Pro. I bet that's Andrew. What is up? Thanks for coming by. And then we're going to do a dry run. That's using your Terraform plan. And you can see the objectives here. Now, day 3, we turn up the heat a bit more. It starts to get a bit more difficult, where now we need to actually run the Terraform apply, and then, go see if it, ran and created the things inside of AWS. And then getting to 4, like I said, this is when you kind of start playing around with it. You'll start modifying resources and seeing how that works out. And like I said, most importantly, also you get to tear it down. I love Terraform Destroy. That's my favorite command. But you also get to reflect on your journey. I always feel that that's very important. And when you reflect on it, you look back and see what you've created. You see how you were better than you were the day before, as well as if you want to make a blog, socially share it, all those kind of things. I always think that's a good thing to do. Okay, let me check in the chat, making sure I'm not running out of time. Okay. All right, no one's screaming at me, so I'm going. Hey, everybody, thanks for coming through and supporting. I appreciate it so much. So now we're going to actually get into a demo of what it looks like doing Code Dev Auto. You're actually going to watch me go through creating, working through day 1. And I'm going to scrub through this. As you can see, this was 48 minutes of me working on this, but we're going to scrub through it. So. All right, so first thing I need to do is install Terraform. And I remember when I was at work, I was just like, oh yeah, how do I install Terraform? So, one thing I like to do with these workshops, and I'll get to how the format will work, but I'll also challenge you guys to go a step further versus just installing Terraform. For example, I'm actually using a cloud IDE, so a C IDE. I'm not just using visual code on my actual machine, but I'm using a cloud version of that. And I wanted to speed up me just being able to have Terraform automatically install anytime I create a new repo, which forced me to learn how to go create a Docker image for this and then actually host it. You can see where I'm creating all the different workshops there. But I actually had to learn how to host my own custom Docker image on GitHub using packages, which I thought was cool because I had never done that before. So that was a personal challenge for myself. All right, so now we have it, and now we have where Terraform is installed. And so the next thing I need to do, and like I said, I'm gonna scrub through this, so it's gonna be like hyper speed, but that's okay. Let's see, scrubbing. Next thing I need to do is start creating. Oh, this is me creating the Docker file so that I can automatically install Terraform whenever I create a new workspace. I'm using Gitpod IO. So that's something too. Taking these workshops, you'll learn about a lot of different tools that I picked up from AWS heroes that I look up to. Okay, so what do we have next? Okay, we got Terraform installed. That's installed. We got AWS credentials working, scrubbing through. So what happened when I was working through this, I was like, oh, that's right. I don't have AWS CLI installed. So you'll run into stuff like this where you'll need to go figure out how to install that. And there's so many different ways you can do that. And that's the point of this challenge. There's no wrong or right way to do it. You do it what makes sense for you and learn different ways doing that. Okay, so all right, I got that installed. So now it's time to actually write the Terraform configuration. And there's something about gamifying your own learning journey and working through your own workshop and getting stomped. Like, I ran into an error. And one thing you all know about me if you watch my Twitch streams, you will see me hit these errors and we'll work through those together. And scrubbing through, I'm trying to figure out, okay, why am I hitting an error? And these are things you'll run into. And so it'll challenge you to like figure those things out. And that's okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. My video. Why did it stop? I love how I wanted to record my demo versus doing it live so I wouldn't have issues, and I'm having an issue. That's funny. All right, we're just gonna move forward. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we're still dealing with why am I getting this error? And so I'm like, let me go check AWS configuration on Terraform. Like, am I using the wrong syntax in the ACL? Like, what's going on? And so you'll start learning how to get comfortable with using official documentation and how to solve your problem. So scrubbing some more, scrubbing some more. Let's see what I have here. Okay, so this is getting to the point where I figured out what my issue is. And y'all know what my issue was? Finally, at some point, it dawned on me. I remembered that S3 buckets are global. It's important that you don't use a name that someone's probably used because it's global. It has to be globally unique. So that was the actual issue with that. The part that was blacked out was where I actually went to ChatGPT and searched the error code, which didn't help me. But you will see me use, different AI tools to try to figure out stuff, and that's okay. I do it all the time on the job, but I'll also show you through this workshop how you can use AI to figure out issues safely so you're not leaking IP, because that is very, very important. All right, so let me keep going. Okay, so I got to my favorite part. This is where I go and destroy all the things, because I'm on mission 3 for day 1, where it's time to, destroy. Why do I love destroy? Because I don't know, I like breaking stuff for one and then fixing it. That's how I learn. But what I really like about being able to do Terraform destroy and make sure that I don't rack up a insane AWS bill. I could just tear down my stuff when I'm done playing and practicing and studying. So that's why I love it so much, and it makes it so easy. So that is the demo. I know that was super quick, but I wanted to make sure I'm doing good on time. Let me still make sure. Okay, I'm not seeing anyone screaming at me yet. Okay, we're at the 10-minute mark. Cool. All right. So that's the demo. All right, so how do you play Code Theft Auto? There is a QR code in the top screen. It's going to stay there for a little bit. So that way, when you scan it, it's going to take you to the page where you can actually register to participate when I kick this off in March. Yes, I'm going to kick it off in March. So if you're interested, like I said, if you're new to Terraform, know someone who wants to learn Terraform, you just want to come hang out, you can even come and heckle, that's fine. You want to see behind the scenes, because I'm actually going to go really in detail behind the scenes of how I gamify different learning journeys for myself using AI. Register. All it is put your email, your name, so that way when I get ready to launch this, you'll get an email with all the details, so that way you know what to do. So let me break it down real quick. So there is going to be a GitHub repo, which is where you saw those steps for day 1 through 4. You'll get access to that. I'll have a template for you and walk you through how you'll use that to play the game. There is going to be a Twitch live stream element to this, because what will happen is I want you all to work through the days. I'll give you a week to work through the days on your own. And then that following, because we'll do it like from Tuesdays to Tuesday. So Tuesday, the first Tuesday, you'll start working on day 1 by yourself for a week. That following Tuesday, I'll hop on the live stream, work through day 1 my way. And that way, if you have any Q&A, we could do that live. You could share your experience. You could see how I'm working through it. And that's how we start building community, because as we run into errors, you watch me run into errors, we'll work with each other to get it working. The other thing, you also get to use channel rewards on my Twitch channel, where you all get to sabotage me. And I use AI to do that, as in I created sabotage branches in my repo. I will use my Dungeons and Dragons dice to randomly select the sabotage that I haven't worked through, and you'll see me sweat in real time, and we'll figure it out together and we'll have fun. And that's how we build community, because with the Gifted Lane, Gifted Guild, yes, I have a fan name, a fandom name now. With the guild, we're all about creating safe spaces where we learn and grow together. So there's no dumb questions, nothing like that. It's a safe space. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. Like I said, I do plan to kick this off in March. And like I said, if you're looking to learn Terraform, maybe you just want to come have fun with us. Maybe your Terraform form is a little dusty. You know someone who wants to learn Terraform, boom, send them this information for sure. Again, like I said, it's all about building community. It's better to learn with each other versus alone, in my opinion, and have a good time doing it. And also, like I said, because I'll have a Patreon piece where you'll be able to really see behind the scenes of how I gamify my different learning experiences, because I do it for Terraform, CloudWatch, like so many different things. And you can see behind the scenes of that, and you can gamify whatever it is you want to learn. Like I said, to cook a gumbo, you can gamify that if you want to. This QR code will actually take you to all my social media links. So that way you can find me on Twitter and YouTube and all those good things. And thanks. That is the demo. I hope this was beneficial for everyone. Again, here's my social media links if you scan that QR code. But yes, definitely register and you'll get all the details so that way you can play along. If you have questions, I'll hang out in the chat after this for a bit. But thanks for listening to me. Thanks to everyone who came by to support and have fun. Enjoy Hashi Talks, learn a lot, and I'll see you all next time.